Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 29 of our world tour. We're still at Persiba, and we're gonna make the most of this season, see where we go. No sort of long-term plans. We're just gonna see where football takes us right now. Now, if you watched last episode, we of course were trying to get into the Champions League group stage. I believe it would have been a first time for an Indonesian club, though I could be wrong, and we just fell short against a Japanese team who is a name made up, and I'd need to get that patch so I can fix that. But let's not worry about that right now. Since then, we've played through pre-season, we've made a few signings. Let's go and have a quick look at what's happened here. 3-3, we first game after the Champions League against Persiba solo. To be honest, I really didn't have my heart in this game. We should have beaten them. We scored 3 goals. Defensively, we were poor. I didn't care. I'm sorry. That shouldn't be what the manager says. But Rianto, Septawan, and Rukmana got the goals. He's an academy kid, and we'll get to the academy kids in just a second as well, because we have had a youth intake. Then we played Persiba, and again, we were very poor. My heart wasn't in this. We lost 1-0. I apologise. I went away, I went to bed, came back the next morning, and I think I was refreshed, let's just say that. We were dominant in this game, absolutely dominant. Satriadi with a hat-trick, Lee Sang Min, that's a new name, we'll look at him in a minute, and Bhakti with a double, absolutely destroyed them. Then we played the Super Cup against Persarang, and this was a really, really strong performance for a first competitive game. Rediana got the winner. He's added again this year, 92nd minute, which makes it look like it was a tight game. It wasn't. We absolutely smashed them. We deserved to win. The fact that it took until the 92nd minute was a little bit unlucky on us, but we should have won a lot sooner, and in the end we did. Then we played Barita Putra, that's a swear word in another language. Spanish, look it up. That's not a bad one though, it's bitch. Yeah, so this was a game for the reserves, anybody that needed some match fitness. Boaz got the goal for us, 1-0 win. It was fine. It was just the reserves, and we did what we needed to do. And let's go and have a look at the transfers that we have made. And I did introduce this guy last time. We couldn't play him because he wasn't registered, but Pablo Medina, he's in now. He's fully registered, ready to go. Look at that jumping reach. Come on. We'll just click on the name. It's much easier that way. There we go. Look at that jumping reach. Look at that heading ability. He's going to be an absolute beast from set pieces, I'm sure. That's initially why I signed him, hoping, in the Champions League. But he came in as like a day too late to register. He didn't sign the contract quick enough. So we didn't have him for that, but we have him now. And I think he's going to be a very adequate replacement, essentially, for Veneno, who was our beast from set pieces and corners before. Lee Song Min. We signed him 6.25 thousand. I was almost said million there. The price basically doubles, I think, as if we win the Champions League. This is now, central midfield is not a weak point, but this guy is an absolute, he's going to run midfield for us, essentially. Look at that, passing 14, vision 14, long shots of 14, good first touch, physical stats are good as well, off the ball's not bad, tackling's decent. I'm thinking of him as either a deep lying or advanced playmaker, so depending on how the game is. More deep lying, I think, just because he can't really dribble. So yeah, that's kind of what we're thinking for him as a defensive player, because he can tackle as well. So yeah, I think he's going to do really, really well. Another half an eye. A couple of reasons for this as well. We needed an Asian foreign player, so he sort of ticks that box. And I really wanted somebody who could pass the ball and run play for us, which is what we have. And also, half an eye, we might be able to sell him to a Korean club. He's already worth 28,000. We might get 50k for him. If he plays and develops, he's almost at full potential. We might be able to eke a little bit more out of him, but if we sell him on, we should be able to do so for a profit. So that's sort of another half an eye on that. Ronaldo Wenma. This is essentially Kayono's replacement. Kayono he hasn't left the club yet, but he is leaving it once his contract's up midway through the year. Good finishing, good first touch, good heading, off the ball's not bad, physically he isn't bad, and he's on roughly half the wages Kayono was on. So we've upgraded. It's a younger player, less money, and a better finisher, essentially. Everything else is roughly on par, but his finishing is much, much better. So that's Ronaldo Wenma. Now, we did also get a youth intake. Now, some of these are previous youth intakes. We want to look for the 16-year-olds. They're going to be the ones. That's not going to read well in court, is it? You can see here a couple of decent, one-star already prospects here. Yudi, decent finishing, decent pace, not too bad. Ali Rianto, again, he's very high potential, right side attacking midfielder. A little bit concerned about his dribbling and crossing, to be honest, for a winger. But there's not really anywhere else to retrain him, because he's going to have to do some developing, isn't he? I'm not quite sure that he is as high potential as the game says he is. Nico Roskin, Here we go again. Defensive midfielder, decent enough. We have better options as defensive midfielders, but he's already a one-star player, so you never know what could happen there. Central defender here, Hadriat. Good pace, defensive stats are decent, jumping reach is a little bit of a concern, but again, high potential, lots of room to develop. Left-sided winger here, that potential's not fantastic, is it? Here's a good one though, a right-sided defender, right back. He looks promising, doesn't he? Good leadership there as well. Possibly a captain for the future. We might look to send him on some leadership courses. Tackling's good. Physically, he can develop. As an attacking weapon, maybe not. And then the last one here is Dean Rossiden. Again, central midfielder. Not bad for 16. There's definitely some room to develop there. And maybe it's this one here. This could be a new guy as well, left back. So you can see our youth intake it's doing its job for us. Again, not bad physically, good tackling, what you want. So that's not bad. And our youth intake is doing its job, but there are 3 players that they've gone straight into the senior team. That's what we're looking at here. Now let's go to here. They're all in the, here we go. So the first one here is the goalkeeper, Andy Ridwan, already 1.5 star, potentially 4 star. Not bad. Handling 14, rushing out 14. He's instantly the second best keeper at the club. He's nowhere near Setterjaya. Setterjaya, if we look at him, is just a different level. That's Boaz. Why do we have Boaz? There we go. Setterjaya is just a different level altogether. He is how he isn't capped by Indonesia yet, I'm not really sure. But he is really, really good. So he's not at that level yet, but potentially he could be. Other ones that we got in here, Moses. Look at that, 2-star, potentially 5-star. And he is already, vision 10, passing 9, tackling 9. Look at that teamwork, work rate. It's all there. He already, for this level, he already has it all, and he is, he's gonna be a first team player this year, which says a lot. That was a really, really good pickup through the youth intake. And the last one, he would be on the bench, I think, this game, had he not picked up a little bit of a knock. But Chairu Abdullah, again, look at that, 14 finishing already, first touch, heading. Off the balls up there, teamwork, leadership, again, possibly a future captain. Look at those physical stats as well. Good pace, good acceleration, good agility as well. The youth intake's done it again. And now, if this guy came in last year, Rukamana, he was in the under 18s last year, but he's a good potential. We've caught him into the senior squad for this season. You may have noticed him. I think he may have played some Indonesian Cup games last year. But again, good leadership. I think the future of the club, whether we're here or not, looks quite strong. And I don't think there's anybody else. A couple of other goalkeepers here that we've called up from under 18s into the senior squad because we just needed keepers. And Adam Lakornu and Dwi Kayono. Kayono's leaving at the end of this. He said before the end of his contract, he's off to PSPS. We haven't got rid of Lakornu yet. I really just want to get his wages off the books. His contract's up in 3 months anyway. So it's not the end of the world. I just would rather we weren't paying his $450 a week. But, we've strengthened anyway, and he's not playing. He's not in the squad. So there we go. So that is the team that we have for this year. Now, Dan Berlin is going to leave halfway through the year. I have a replacement lined up. We'll look at the replacement when he comes in, so we don't have to worry about that. But he's going to do a good job for us for the first half of the year. And that's the signings we've made. So let me know what you think of those. Now, let's go and get this season underway. And of course, as ever, with any of my says, if you do want to have one of those youth products named after you, let me know in the comments. You can get me on Twitter at AussieVillain, and we'll look to rename those guys for you as soon as possible. Can be done for next episode. That's how soon it can be. Done for tomorrow. But this is the team that we're sending out. Setterjaya in goal. Yagalo, we're going to play him because he wants first team football. I want to keep him happy because he's a decent player. So we'll just keep playing him until he's Indonesian international, actually. He's the Indonesian left back. So we'll play him until he's happy, and then we'll go back to Rendiga because I think he's a better player overall. Chavez continues this season along with Medina, the 2 Argentinian centre-backs. We'll have to come up with a nickname for them, won't we? I don't know. The Foots of God or something, I don't know. Dan Berlin, I've got 3 Argentines in our back 4. I just realised that. I forgot Dan Berlin was Argentinian. So the Argentinian 3 in the back 4. Bhakti comes in to start this game because Septien is just a little bit injured. I think he's sick actually, but he has a knock anyway. So Bhakti's going to start this one with Lee Song-min as a deep lying playmaker, and of course Redian, the hero of the team, as the attacking. He's finishing of 3, but he scores like it's going out of style. Tornando's going to continue down the right. He's been an ever-present for us, hasn't he, since our first game in charge. So he's going to continue with Satriadi as well, playing down the left. Yeah, don't like his stats are declining there, but he's only 28. I'm sure they'll bounce back. We can maybe upgrade there. Boaz is going to start up front this game, deep lying forward. He does the job there. He's old now. He's, 35? Look at those mental stats. He still has it all. He's just lost his pace. So deep lying forward, he can't chase, but he's not going to run behind anymore. So we're getting playing deep and playing everybody else in. Ridwan, we've seen. Ari Ahmed is still up there as one of our top defenders, more for his physical stats than anything else, but he does the job. Positioning's good. As I said, Rendika, he's just on the bench till we can get Yagalo happy with his playing time, and then he'll come back in. We've seen Moses already. Septa1, attacking midfielder, decent enough. I have somebody coming in, I think, when his contract is up midway through the year, so he won't necessarily be staying, but we'll have a replacement coming in. Zamran, still a decent enough option. Again, he will be leaving when his contract's up halfway through the year, but we have someone coming in, and we've seen Ronaldo. If you're wondering, Negraro here is just away on international duty, so we have a little bit of a shortage of strikers for this one game. 2 injuries coming back. Negraro will be back for the next game, so nothing to be concerned about long term there. Now let's warm up for this first game with a look back at some of our best goals from pre-season, and then we'll get straight into the action. Alright, so it looks like our opponents here, PSMS, are going quite defensive here. Obviously aware of our defending champion status. Let's go out there, clear minds. I always feel like early on in the season, a little bit of passion never goes astray. Let's give the fans a performance. We're at home as the defending champions. I feel like let's go out and put on this performance for them. And here we go. I'm a little bit concerned about finances this year because we can't actually play in the Asian Confederation Cup now, which is ridiculous. If you get knocked out in Asian Champions League qualifying, you should surely parachute down like they do in the in Europe. But we can't, which means we have no way of making that extra money, that extra million that we made last year that kind of let us break even. So I am a little bit concerned about our finances this year. We did win that Super Cup, which gives us an extra 30 grand, but I think you got 15 grand for losing it anyway, so that's not that much of a difference from last year. Here's our first highlight. Let's see what the team's got. Bhakti shoots! Bhakti! Oh! Nice little warm-up, wasn't it? Just stinging the hands of the goalkeeper there. Yeah, so finances could become a problem as this season goes on, because if you win the league, it's 165 grand, I think. Corner comes in, headed away. No sign of Medina there that time, unfortunately, but he will, I'm sure, feature heavily this season. Just under a little bit of pressure here. I'd like us to maybe go and try and win the ball, rather than, just run next to him. Oh, come on, boys. It's patient from them, which, I mean, it's fine right now, but unless they misplace a pass, it's a pointless highlight. Absolutely pointless highlight. Yeah, I forget what I was saying. It's probably because I was just rambling on. Oh, Medina. I think I was talking about Medina from set pieces. Looking nervous. It is his... No, we played in the Super Cup, so it's not his competitive debut, but it is his league debut. Here's Yagalo forward, knocks it in, back post, ready and headed away. Lee Sung-min, now we know he can hit them, 14 long shot. I don't think he's going to shoot from there, though. That's Septien range, but I don't know if that's anybody else range. Back to Lee Sung-min, that's a good ball. Look, that's the sort of vision that we need. That was really good. Yagalo, can he get a cross in? He can, it's there. Boaz takes it down, one touch, shoots, scores! Boaz! There it is. That's the first goal of the season. 1-0, and it's the old man of the team, Boaz, that gets the goal. He is captain now, I think, and we took Frankie Tornando off of assistant, or vice captain. We've given that to Leo Chavez. He has better attributes for it. He's settled at the club now. He's younger, so I just think, and I prefer central defenders, I think, make better leaders than wingers in any case, just my own bias there. So yeah, we've done that. Long term, I mean, I don't know how long Boaz is going to last, but Chavez looks sort of primed right now to take over as captain, assuming that he's still at the club. That's the one thing, I guess, with foreign players. It's a good tackle from Dan Bellini, isn't it? That you can't be fully sure that they're going to stay on. But, I mean, you've seen with the youth intake, there's a lot of good leaders coming through, so I'm not too concerned about that long term. Yeah, I do kind of want to leave the club in a good state. I know I said this last year, but I'm thinking this is probably our last year. I did sign a new contract because our contract was due to expire midway through this season. So I signed a new contract for another year, so we've got sort of 18 months now on our contract at the club. To be honest, they're going to keep us. We've done absolute wonders for the club. We've taken them to heights they've never been to before. They want us to stay. It's fine. It's fine. When I had an interview with the Chinese club, they were bending over backwards. What do you want? Have whatever you want. There's already horrible defending. The ball's just kind of landed at Redian's feet, and he's just tapped it home. Not a problem. That's 2 goals in 2 minutes, I think. And we are underway this season. We are underway. Look, I don't understand how this has... There's a cracking ball from Lee Sung-min. If that's what he's got for us this year, we are going to be 3 defenders, and they've all just watched it go over their heads. Yeah, there we go. 2-0. 2 goals. Look at that. 2 goals in 2 minutes. Wonderful stuff. Let's praise them. Let's give them some praise. The other team has not been in this yet. Yeah, but I really want to try and step up our level now. We want to try and have the best Indonesian players at the club. We want to have the best... We want our 4 foreign players to be essentially the 4 best players in the country. That's sort of what I'm aiming for. Right now, I don't think we need strikers because the young strikers that are coming through our academy are just brilliant. There's another ball for Boaz! Ooh. I think where we lack perhaps is defensively. I think we perhaps lack, and I know they do really well for us, but Redian and Septien aren't the best in terms of attributes, but they're still young as well, so I'm torn. Maybe wingers, actually. Now I think we could definitely use a step up in wingers. I think, yeah, central defense and then a good winger. Let's say don't get complacent. We'll do a few individual talks here. We'll just do the one game today, just because otherwise with the sort of the introducing players and all that, I think it can get a bit long. And I want to make sure I introduce the players so you have an idea of who's playing, who you're watching. I think that is important. Let me know if that's not something you particularly care about. And I won't, I don't have to do it, but I always feel like that's that way you know who you're watching and you have an idea of if we can improve, if they're sort of playing above what we expect of them, things like that. So, yeah, just the one game today, but typically we do 2 games if you're new. Yeah, we'll do 2 games an episode. If you are new too, by the way, please do subscribe, ring the bell so you see when I upload new episodes. And if you are enjoying this, please do hit like, it helps people, all interactions, comments as well. Oh, is that going to go in? It's bouncing around. It's a free kick. Yeah, any sort of interactions, likes, comments, all that stuff helps people find the channel. And I love the comments. If you comment, I will reply because that's just what I do. I have nothing better to do, really. That's probably the reason for it. Now, Lee Sung-min is looking a little tired here. It might be a good opportunity, a 2-0 up, to bring Moses off the bench. Give him a league debut. Let's wait and see what happens from this highlight. He can play as a deep-lying playmaker from that deeper position in front of the back four as well, which is a nice thing to have, I think. And then we can always, if we do play him there long-term, we can always play Lee Sun-min further forward as just a regular midfielder or as an advanced playmaker. I think the only thing lacking as an advanced playmaker is his ability to dribble. Here's Satriadi going a little bit of a run. Yagalo should get to that. He does. But at this level, I mean, 6 dribbling is probably not that bad. It's probably just, the equivalent of like a 12 in the Premier League. So he probably can do it at some level. Bhakti is just, he's just run straight through him. He's playing some rugby. Go on, Bhakti. Back to Lee Sun-min. That's another, he's passing. I'm just getting excited. Legalo, that's a decent looking cross for Tonendo at the best of the bar. Or the post, I should say. Woodwork. I should just say woodwork. I get excited. I don't know if I'm saying bar, post. It's hit the frame of the goal and hasn't gone in. I thought Lee Sun-min might turn and shoot there. Bhakti to Yagalo. That's the end of that. Okay, look at Lee Sun-min. He's looking a little tired. We don't want our new star man getting injured first game because we just refuse to take him off. So we'll put Moses on. We'll drop him back. Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, so you can play back there. Perfect. Not a problem. And that is also 100% an upgrade on Erlanger too, and as well as Mutaquin. They both did a really good job for us, but like I say, we're upgrading now. We're really trying to build a team that, no matter what clown comes in after us, can still make sure that this is a dominant club in the country. Look at this, 16 shots. They have not had a single shot on target yet. Is this going to be the shot on target that goes in the back of the net? Because that's usually what happens to us. They've gone 2 up top. That would suggest probably a 4-4-2. I'm wondering if perhaps they're playing more attacking. I'm wondering if we should push up. No, we'll just leave it like this. We're not going to counter-attack. We'll just be more cautious because that's just going to invite them onto us. Their approach is they're now playing with more caution. They had their go. They're tired now. They've given up. Should we give Ronaldo? See, Ronaldo's injured on the bench, so I don't want to risk him necessarily. Alicia, we had him on trial at some point. We didn't sign him, obviously. It's just a little bit of patient play here. This is making me a little bit nervous. Okay, we're not going to do this thing again where we just give away leads for fun. We're not doing that this year. We're just not doing that. So we'll be more disciplined. I should have done this before. I'm an idiot. Get rid of it however you need to get rid of it. Slow down the pace. We will stay on our feet. We'll be more compact. And there we go. Another worldie. The other team, they do score a lot of worldies against us. Now, I don't know why that is. But I just feel like there's a lot of goals like this where it's just like as if this goes in, as if that goes in the top corner. Anyway, it does, and it seems to happen to us a lot. It really does. Let's give it a concentrate, boys. It's fine. It's fine. We deserve to. If we don't win this game, it'll be a crime against football, won't it? All right, Boaz from the corner. Can Medina make his mark here? It's decent enough, but it's at the edge. It's not in, and it's the win. Not as comfortable as it should have been. To be honest, we should have won that by a lot more. Their only shot on goal went in the back of the net, which is typical. But again, as a first-up performance, that wasn't bad. Really well done, boys. That was good. And on we go. I mean, some of those passes that Lee Sun-min was spraying around out wide, that was absolute quality, wasn't it? So that puts us one of only 3 teams to have won their first game. There's still a few teams to play, though. So maybe that's not quite the end of the story there yet. Motundang, we'll just go with Moses, I think. It's going to be a lot easier to say. Made his debut. Yagalo shines. I tell you what, he's making the most of his football, isn't he? Passing was a joy to behold. Some of those crosses he put in were really, really good, weren't they? But guys, that excuse me, that is it for this episode. Like I said, if you have enjoyed that, please do hit like. Subscribe if you're new. We'll be back tomorrow. We'll come back end of the month. Mitchell Cooker, that is a rivalry, so we'll come back for that one, and Persiba. And that's all for tomorrow. And we'll have a quick look at the job market actually before we go, just to give you an idea of what's available. Like I say, we're not leaving for just anybody now, because we just don't want to. I'm not doing West Sydney Wanderers. I did apply and get an interview for a South African Premier League club. I did the interview, we didn't get it. I'm not going to take a job without sort of coming back to you guys first. But yeah, we didn't get offered it anyway. But that was another. I think they're a 2-star club, so we need to improve. We just need to get our ratings up. There's no one there. We're not going to India. We're not going to Hong Kong. So we're happy as we are. Yeah, I think if we leave, we're going to want to go to either a very good South Korean or Chinese club, or we might look to head over to South America and maybe a better second division team in Argentina, perhaps. And just to see sort of where our profile's at, we did get the B license. We're now studying for the A license. You can see we've improved a little bit there, but our attributes, to be honest, when you look at the managers that are getting the jobs that I'm applying for, their attributes are way, way higher. So I'm not quite sure. I mean, our coaching badges, I'm sure, are going to help on that, but we're almost a 2-star manager now, so we should be able to get some of these jobs. I'm thinking the coaching badges are maybe what's holding us back a little bit. So yeah, we'll work on those, and we'll have a good year here. I'm confident of. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.